Shalom, giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Wak Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, who's pushing this word in all sincerity and all truth throughout the four corners of the earth. The title of this lesson is Witchcraft and Bitterness, and I guess this will be like a part one. And looking at this particular video about, it says ex-witch warns witchcraft expanding. It says Hollywood releasing spells over the viewers. All right, and just hear what she got to say, and I'm gonna go into a few scriptures, and hopefully I'm not gonna make this long, but a lot of stuff we are, if you're in this truth, you already know, but just wanted you to listen to some interesting things that she says, and then I'm going to break some scriptures down pertaining to exactly what she is saying. All right, so without further ado, here we go.
Weaver, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. My first question, before we dig into the meat of this interview, you were very heavily involved in witchcraft at one point in your life. Just really quickly, for people who don't know your testimony, who don't know your story, how did you get involved in witchcraft?
Yeah, around the age of 13, I was starting to get depressed. I was being bullied at school. And even though I was in a Christian home, my parents did the best they could, but they were heavily on the side of just abuse. And so when you were in trouble, you were beat. And so I believe the enemy used that to come against my self-worth, who I thought I was. And I was so depressed, I just thought if I would die, life would be better for everybody else. And so during that time, I was connected with some girls, and I remember going to a sleepover, and they watched a movie called The Craft. And this movie came out around 1996, and it was about 4 witches who were in high school. And these witches were bullied and picked on, and their lives were kind of messed up, and they used witchcraft to control situations around them and to get what they wanted. I watched the movie, and I thought, I want that. Well, of course, in the movie, they went too far anyway, and the witchcraft had turned against them, and the girls were desperate to get out of it.
Okay, now you notice what she said. It turned against them. And, you got a lot of this even. The scriptures used to say, matter of fact, let me get it so I won't butcher it. You have a lot of this that used to be on a higher level, but now it's pretty much, it's always been on a low level and quiet, but it's just now it's increasing, and I'm going to read a couple of these scriptures. Colossians 2:8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the Mashiach, because he controls everything. He controls all principalities, and all things were created for him. All right. And we definitely need his protection going forward. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. All right. So this is what we're battling against out here. And we have this, verse 11 says, put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that we may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now, when she said it turned against her, there's definitely a example of this in the scriptures. All right. The 7 sons of Skeva, according to the book of Acts, according to the book of the Acts of the Apostles, he had 7 sons he had 7 sons who attempted to exorcise a demon from a man in the town of Ephesians by using the name Yahweh Shai as an invocation. This practice is similar to the Jewish practice originating in the Testament of Solomon of invoking angels to cast out demons. All right. Testament of Solomon. All right. Now, I don't know what that is, but I believe that's like a book that's in the scriptures. All right. Unless they talk about the wisdom of Solomon, but the Testament of Solomon, I don't know what that is. But in any event, all right, what happened to them when they tried to do this? All right. Because this thing is very deep and people don't know what they're getting their hands into when they deal with this kind of stuff. This is Acts 19, starting with 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, who took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahushua, saying, We adjure you by Yahushua whom Paul preacheth. And there were 7 sons of Skeva, a Jew and a chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit leaped on them overcame them and prevailed against them so that they fled out of their house naked and wounded. Now, when you go into his, first let's go into this word wounded, all right? Because you can see, this is what happens when you start dealing with this stuff.
Strong's G, 5135, traumatizo.
All right, I'm pretty sure. Of course, it's not saying it, but it says to inflict a wound. All right, and in a sense, but look at the word traumatizo, which I'm pretty sure the word traumatized came from that. All right, but now I wanted to go into, because this is what happens when you deal with this, man. The word, Skeva.
Strong's G, 4630, skuas.
All right, now his name means mind reader, a certain chief priest residing at Ephesus. Now remember what it says in I think it's 1 Thessalonians 1:9. All right. 1 Thessalonians 1:9. The devil comes as an angel of light. Matter of fact, let's just get it. We can come back to this. I know I'm moving quickly. Get to a point. 1:9. 2 Thessalonians. This is 1:9. Even him whose coming is after working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. They that all might be damned, who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. All right. And you got a lot of these, it's nothing new under the sun. You have a lot of these priests who are nothing but warlocks behind the scenes. All right. And I wanted to get back into his name. All right. Pull something out. All right. Left-handed. All right. Left-handed, so he pretended to be something else. Left-handed and an Israelite. All right. You have witches and warlocks definitely amongst our own people. All right, that's heavily into it. All right, but left-handed, let's go, let's get into that. All right. Okay. In that particular tradition of witchcraft, they have left-hand path and right-hand path. All right. And a lot of them use this, the Baphomet. All right. When you get down to right here, this is where I'm at. All right. Left-handed path practitioners embrace the dark as well as the light in order to invoke the alchemical formula, confronting the negative in order to transmit it into desired qualities. The left-handed path practitioners descend towards union with the divine to obtain godhood status and God-like powers of their own, being reunited with the ultimate divine source energy. And if you go down to the bottom, it says, pretty much I'm right there, the left-hand path followers is represented by Lefa, the male, and the tree of knowledge, all right? Okay, and where do we see that at? Okay. Where was this at? Of course. All right. Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh had made. And he said to the woman, Yea, hath Yahweh said, Ye shall not eat of the tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh said, Ye shall not eat it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for Yahweh knoweth that in the day ye eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So, this left-handed path, it's basically people wanting to be their own gods, man. You know, and the serpent, of course, was, you know, to practice divination, divine, observe signs, learn by experience. To practice divinations, to observe signs and omens, enchantments, all right? An enchanter or sorcerer, basically. All right. So, when you see that this path leads to death, and it just made me think about how vexed people are out here. The energy out here is just vexing. You know, at least amongst these people out here don't have no rest. And they're looking for answers in all the wrong places. The only place that you can receive answers from is Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, so I'm going to go further into it, listen to her some more, speak on some things concerning, of course, what you see. It's in every facet of life, wherever you go, you know, wherever you at, whether you shopping or just looking at a movie or learning something, it's just everywhere.
But during that point, I didn't even see that ending. I just thought, oh, I won't go that far. I'm just going to be innocent in it. And I began to study the religion of Wiccan and study different spells and incantations and New Age practices and occult practices that I was doing in a Christian home that nobody knew I was doing. And so what started off as something innocent where I'm just connecting with energy and the universe and vibes and all these innocent things that we see took me down a path of just dark desperation. I felt at one point that I was living in like a haunted house because I was hearing scratches on the wall right next to me. I would feel a brush by me and be terrified that somebody is here in the room with me. Someone's watching me. I've always felt like I was being watched. When I would wash my face for the day, it was one of the most terrifying things that I did. When I took a shower and I had to close my eyes, I was so terrified. If I had to get up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water, I would run because I thought something's going to grab my feet. I was an adult at this point, and it took me far into drugs. I ended up being homeless and on drugs, in and out of jails and all kinds of things. For 9 years of my life, I was really in a dark place.
One day God did set you free, Jenny, and we're so grateful that you've renounced that and you are a minister of the gospel, an awesome worship leader. I love your testimony, and 700 Club has covered your story quite a bit, and so we're so grateful for that. But you know, Jenny, it's so troubling to see that witchcraft and the occult is really on the rise. I mean, we're seeing it in stores. We're seeing clothing promoting, hey, I'm a good witch, or I'm a bad witch, you know.
Right.
We're seeing even witches having workshops and retreats and all these things. Why do you think this has become so much more mainstream, so much more acceptable?
I think media has done a good job of pushing something to the point where it is now normalized, when back in the day, something like that for you and I, it would be shocking to see. And now, because we have shows as early as, daycare age, promoting witchcraft and sorcery, and it's okay, boys and girls, say these spell words with us. And it's so ABC preschool witchcraft that it gets into the hearts and the minds of people, including the people in church, and people who are not really connected with the Lord and don't understand.
Now, she said it operates at a preschool level and through the media. And of course, where we at? Babylon the Great. The word Babylon means confusion. All right. And, America allows this stuff to be pushed through. All right. This place is the home of filth and witchcraft. This is their home. 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not, the bloody city, because this particular place has been founded off of blood, and quite a few other places in the world. But mainly this place has been founded off of blood. All right. Let me skip down to verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. And how did they do that? They sold the children of Israel. All right. They took away their heritage. They lied about their heritage, and then they sold them into slavery. All right. And have you thinking that they're African Americans or whatever, and that they're not the true people of God? That's witchcraft, man. That's lying. All right. Look up that word. Witchcraft. All right, magic. Practice witchcraft, sorcery, sorcerers, or enchant, practice magic, sorcery. And it says, verse 5, and behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show nations thy nakedness, and kingdoms thy shame. And how is it being shown? Through this word, through the prophets out in highways and byways teaching and pushing this word, and these videos being made, showing that this, taking the cover off this place, the veil of secrecy. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. All right. And that's that abominable filth, the history of this place, the spirituality of this place, everything about this place is filthy, It's filthy here, man. You wonder why you got so many people on mental illnesses and certain things. Everything here is against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Like the scripture says, come out of my people, because there's nothing here, man. All right. This is Isaiah 47. This is verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Meaning there is no power. These people believe that they're gods on the face of the earth, Pursuing back to, of course, Genesis 3 and 1. What they pursue with the left hand magic. to the obtaining of godhood. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, when thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be that thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail, So he's pushing all this out because it says the devil coming down with great wrath. All right, and his time is short. So he's revving up. All right, he's revving up and he's pushing this vibration even stronger. All right, but none of this is going to work because Yahweh Shai, he said he thwarts the plans of, roughly paraphrasing, he thwarts the devices of the wicked. Thou art wearied in a multitude of thy counselors. Wearied, all right, constantly going to the stars and pushing these enchantments through these programs, like she said, the clothes, the music, the movies. Okay, wearied. Thou art wearied and I'm tired. All right. Let now thy astrologers, the stargazers, and monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm or fire to warm it. All right. So this is the end of what you call in these particular places the witchcraft. But this is where it leads to, and this is what most of these kingdoms went through. All right. This is one last precept, and I'm gonna head out. Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right. So put on the whole armor, meaning put on this whole truth, believe, pray, and continue to endure. So I pray that you've been edified with this. I would like to say shalom.